Hello everyone, Cornkid here with tutorial video 2, the stats screen, and some early game fighting. So this is basically the starting area in the game, and if you want to go to the stats screen, you go ahead and hit the button to bring up the menu. This depends on what platform you're playing on. And then on the bar up top that shows in the upper right, you can move, because you browse and select your items that you have, change your equipment if you want, and view your status. Okay, so on the status screen, which this is the stat screen, there's a button. You see I'm playing on the Xbox One. On the bottom here, you see where it says explanation. It tells you what button to hit. If you do that, it brings up the explanation of the stats. You move around with the cursor. So you got your character's name, Covenant, which we'll talk about later, what level you are, etc. And then again, if you forget, you can't remember, again, the game actually will explain to you what each stat is for. Vitality determines HP, attunement, number of spell slots, endurance determines stamina, equipment load, and resistance to bleeding, etc. So you can go through all of these. Now, this screen will change when you change things in the game. So when you level up your vitality, for example, this HP will change, and it shows you what your current is and what your max is. Stamina, again, that's what's required for the various actions. It's your green bar on the upper left hand corner of the screen when you're in the main screen. Equip load. Okay, so now this is important. Total weight of your equipped items. A higher number slows your movement, and if you get above certain thresholds, it changes your movement, i.e. the higher you go with this number on your equip load, the slower you move. And this is affected by what weapons you're carrying, what armor you have on. Even the rings have some weight to them. But for some reason, arrows don't have any weight to them. Okay, then you have 2 slots for weapons you can equip, and this tells you basically what's your attack power of the weapon that you have. Your left weapon, again, 2 spots. And then it has overall your sort of resistances to things. Now, Poise is important too. You'll see this with armor. And that's basically the stat for when you are in the midst of doing an attack or doing an action. What's the likelihood that you're going to get broken out of it? The higher this number, the less likely you're going to get broken out of it. Okay, so you see my equip load is 26 out of 50. So 50 is my max and 26 is my current equip load based on what I have on. So if I want to change things, I go to change equipment, and you can take things off. So we'll take off this item, and now we'll check the equip load, and it's 21.8. So check this out. Okay, so I'm walking around and I roll that way. And that's kind of what I consider the regular roll. Now, if I take more stuff off, take everything off, my equip load is 0. And now look at the roll. Boom shakalaka. This much crazier roll. Then, if I put everything back on that I had, my equip load is 26. And now look at the roll. It's much different and slower. So again, you get the choice. You can be agile, but also more squishy because you have less armor. Or you could be kind of a tank, except you are slow. Okay, now, these things on the ground are messages. In the early game, these are the messages basically from the developers that are telling you stuff. These things here are bloodstains. You can actually watch people who've been fighting in other games, and it's like a recording of them dying, basically. So you get to see the last few seconds before they die. Now, right now, I don't have much for weapons. You just start off with that basically broken sword, the straight sword hilt. And so, as you saw, the attack power wasn't very much on this. It's 20. So if I try to attack people with it, I'm not going to do much damage. Like, see? That's very little damage. Then on the platform I'm playing on, if you click with the stick, you see that white circle shows up. That's your target lock. So now you stay fixed on this one enemy. And I unclicked it to get off it, and then I clicked on him again. So I favor being fast in this game over basically kind of tanking it up here. Again, more messages. Again, it's telling you how to target lock. Now, this is a tutorial level, and in Dark Souls sort of usual fashion, they give you a boss to fight really early. Okay? But before you get to the boss, here's a bonfire. Bonfires are good things. They replenish your healing items, and they're kind of like not safe zones, like save zones. There's continuous saving in this game, so you don't need to save. But bonfires are super important. You rest at them, and the menu will usually have more options, but we're a little too early in the game for that. Okay, so now we can go and do this fight, because this is the boss fight. Okay, you learn how to use the controls, and then you get a boss fight. Welcome to Dark Souls. Now, right now, all I've got is my straight sword hilt. That's my light attack, my heavy attack, and then my off arm I can try to punch. Soft punch, and that's a parry move. Now, this boss can frustrate people, because you basically have a shitty weapon. He does not have a shitty weapon. And so you see, you don't do much damage to him. You do like 2 damage. He's going to try to stomp on me. So you could sit here and try to kill him, or you could take the escape route, which is over here. And once you escape, that's it. The fight's over for now. So that was sort of easy basic fighting. Oh, and when you die, you go back to whatever bonfire you rested at last. So now this area here, those white things that you see, those are items. Okay, it says pillage corpse. And you get your shield here. So we will equip the shield. Now if you want to check the stats on an item, you see on the bottom it says toggle display. You can actually bring up what the display is stat-wise for the item that you just picked up. And we'll go over that in another video. Suffice it to say though, I want to equip my shield, which I didn't do because I'm talking too much and doing things too little. So now, and then you got to use your directional pad, or on PC you could have set up something like your comm wheel, or sorry, it's shift and a mouse click if I remember right to switch things, or shifting the wheel. So then you also get your sword in this hallway. So no matter what character you pick, you get whatever shield that you're supposed to have, or whatever your left-hand weapon's supposed to be, and whatever your right-hand weapon's supposed to be too. So like for a sorcerer, you get the little wimpy shield and a dagger here. For this guy, you get a broadsword, and you get the shield. Okay, so now... And you can actually equip 2 things. So I'm going to equip both weapons and sort of demonstrate the difference between them. Actually, we'll demonstrate that in another video, because this video is getting too long. Alright, like the video, subscribe, Cornkid out.